So my thought process about bait in the winter is all about loads of solubility, but also loads and loads of attraction and extremely low feed. The last thing you want is to be putting loads and loads of bait out that isn't giving off much attraction at all. So everything that I use, it soaks in really well, it disperses really well on the lake bed. So I'm going to do a little mix, and this is basically what I've been using throughout the session. And obviously it's been working really well. So I do use boilie in the winter. A lot of people don't, but I don't use it whole. The actual boilie that I'm using is the bug. And basically what I do with this, before I go home, or before I get here even, at home, I'll put it through a food blender. So it ends up basically like crumb. So what I do, over 2 rods will say the amount of bait I'm going to do now. So put 2 handfuls of this in. That's the first thing that goes in there. The next thing I'm going to use, and this is really cheap, is white breadcrumb. Why do we use this? Well, if you think you use bread to dip your soup in, don't you? It soaks up in the soup. It soaks in liquid, which basically makes sure that loads of attractions all over the lake bed. So again, 2 handfuls of that. And then the final thing with regards to like food or non-natural food stuff is pellet. Micro pellet, this is crayfish, really small, 2 mil, sort of not much feed at all, just a couple of handfuls, and that does absolutely stink and breaks down really well. Give that a bit of a mix. And then next up, it's all about the liquid. So the first liquid to go in, and I don't want too much of this one because it is quite thick, is the hydro Spod syrup. This is just the matching bug one. So just a tiny bit. Again, you don't want too much. You can see how thick it is there. Now the next liquid, you can actually add loads of this. It's really, really thin. You can leave this in the fridge for ages and it doesn't thicken at all. This is Betastim, really thin, which obviously means that's going to disperse out over the lake bed and obviously give loads of attraction, which in the winter you want. So quite a lot of that. Give that a mix. Now in the winter, just that mix alone, I will use as a Spod mix. But also I can also use this just as a solid bag mix as well, and it's great. So that's what it looks like. And then the final bit in the winter, obviously you cannot not use maggots, so put a couple of scoops of maggots in here. Mix that up. And that is basically my winter mix. Really low food, sort of the amount there, it's not going to fill them up, but there's tons and tons of attraction in there that is hopefully obviously going to draw them in. That's what's been working this session. So if you are out fishing in the winter, give that a try. I'm sure it'll catch a fish or two during this really difficult time.